Woman slams modern work culture after working corporate 9 to 5 for only 6 months. 6 months working on the job and just already slamming it. Uh, Julia Nguyen made a TikTok complaining about work culture after working a corporate 9 to 5 for only 6 months. Of course, it's probably Gen Z on TikTok, right? They normally put these videos on the very bottom. Let me pull it real quick. Here it is. I'll open up TikTok.
I'm literally 6 months into my first corporate job and I already want to quit. And it's not the fact that I don't like my job and like the people suck and like it's just horrible. It's like actually a pretty nice job. Like I love my coworkers. Like it's all around great. Like if you look at it at face value, it's great. My one thing that I hate most is the fact that it's been 6 months and I literally feel like nothing has happened in the past 6 months. I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Actually, no, it's more like 8 to 5. And sometimes it's like 5 to 5. I'll be going through my work week, and then by the time it gets to Friday, I'm just so exhausted to the fact where like I can't do anything on the weekend anymore. Something needs to change in this like work culture because like this is not cutting it. Because I'm not gonna go through my entire life working for like 40 years and then like I wake up one day and I think about it and I'm like, wow, it's been 40 years and I've done literally nothing. The only caveat with quitting this job is that I will not have any money. So how am I supposed to live? Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't understand. Anyway, that's my rant for today. See you next.
My first reaction is really boohoo. You know, welcome to adulthood. This is what it is. I don't know why you're 9 to 5. Like she said, it's more 8 to 5 because there's an hour lunch, right? I don't know why we hear 9 to 5 on the news and stuff. It's realistically 8 to 5 because there's an hour lunch that's unpaid, right? One thing I kind of feel for this younger generation is they don't like this culture of work that it's 8 to 5. Maybe a little longer, probably just either working overtime or it takes longer commute to get to work. So that's not really your personal time. I mean, the amount of personal time you have at home is probably like an hour or two, and that's about it each day. Like, I get the frustration. I do. I've worked this lifestyle going to the office for a very long time. I know how little free time you have when you get home and you're exhausted, but I can't imagine people with kids. It's like extra exhausting. Nevertheless, if you don't like this, complaining on TikTok or complaining at all is not going to solve it. If you believe you're not going to do this for the rest of your life, you could either become an entrepreneur, which is harder, right? Being an entrepreneur, you're working longer hours because it's for you until you find a way where you can finally coast, but that's going to be years of building. Or somehow, just change the culture of like, instead of 8 to 5, it should be a true 9 to 5, an hour in between. So you're really working 7 hours, but you get the same output, same pay. Who knows how that would work or something like that. But right now, I don't have an answer to this by any chance of like how we could change work culture because Gen Z is really leading the charge on work-life balance. And in a way, I kind of agree with it because life isn't about working for someone else. I'd rather work for me, not for someone else. Let me read some comments. A generation of weenies. I can remember times when I worked 12 to 16-hour days and didn't take a day off for months, and we didn't have computers and smartphones to do our research and hands-on stuff, and still had time to make last call. So, okay, I found the boomer, right? It's always someone comparing themselves to someone else, right? And saying, boo-hoo, this and that, insulting them. If you're doing the same job 40 years later, that's on you, not corporate culture that has to change. Her call to action isn't going to change the world. Some people, many people, have to face the reality that they just aren't going to be even mediocre in their careers. So you find the other things to do and enjoy as best as you can. Unfortunately, for a generation raised on instant gratification and overt self-praise, things are not going to end happily ever after without turning off and tuning out comparison. The theft of joy, right? Social media, the instant gratification. There's a reason why I avoid TikTok. You're not going to find me on TikTok. But it's just like mind-numbing scrolling, and you can't help but to compare yourself. And everyone on TikTok, or also, not everyone, most people, right, are just faking it. Look at my glamorous lifestyle. They're faking it. Look at my awesome car. It's probably not theirs. Look at my awesome house. It's probably not their house. Bunch of liars and fakers on social media, but yet people still want to compare themselves. Look how beautiful they are. They're using filters. Having worked 44 years in the lodging industry with a typical week being 60 to 80 hours once salaried, I have zero empathy for this young woman. What does she expect after just 6 months? Try raising a family and being responsible for the lives of your spouse and children each and every day and on weekends. What a weak individual someone raised to be a woman, at least in years. She is still a child in a young woman's body. Again, I found a boomer. Comparing themselves to the other generation. Just because older generations and my generations, we had to go through this. Tough times, going through recessions, hard-working environments. It doesn't mean we have to say, okay, younger generations have to do this too. Maybe Gen Z can say, they might have to go through this, but they have to figure out, I don't want my children to go through this. This corporate 9 to 5, 8 to 5 lifestyle, it's not good. I don't know how they'll change it. I hope it's good. Hopefully they do. But right now it's all talk. I hope it's not all talk. Do something about it. A lot of these comments are like really trashing on this person. I noticed that the comments on her TikTok page is more supportive, right? So people are saying 4-day work weeks, it's possible. Sure, it's possible. You'll probably make less though. It's really, or it could just be 410s, right? Corporate 9 to 5, Monday through Friday is a soul killer. Yeah, sure, it is. It can be, right? We as a generation have to change the work culture. Yeah, good luck. Honestly, good luck. I don't mean that negatively, like a negative connotation. If you can figure it out, that's more power to you. Great. That's awesome. Because my generation couldn't. We just sucked it up when we still did it. You are not alone. I don't see myself or can't understand how my parents were able to do their whole life. Honestly, your parents are just tougher. I mean, I don't know how else I can say it honestly. Like if you want things to change, you gotta have to be stronger mentally stronger, more resilient. If you really want change to happen, it's up to you. Again, complaining on social media or complaining in general is not going to get you there. Someone says, we need the European style. Work the morning, 2-hour lunch, maybe an hour or so after then, done by 3. Yeah, but guess what? Competing companies are going to beat that companies because they have more productivity going on. So good luck with that. Gosh, the TikTok audience is just commenting on her cat. Like half of them are. So yeah, the gist of it is that the comments I'm reading on the Microsoft news page is boomers dissing on her. While on the TikTok comments is everyone supporting them saying, yeah, we need to change, but how? Okay, sure, if you want it to change, how do you do it? I don't have the solution. Provide a solution. Let's see it. I'd like to hear a solution in my comments. Like genuinely. I don't want it to be like a troll fest or anything like that. Like how comments can be. Like I want it to be like an intellectual conversation of like how can we get away from an 8 to 5 work style but still have the same output, same productivity? I really want to know. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for today. Hope you guys liked today's topic. Please hit the like button. And if you made it this far in this video, please subscribe. And until next time, bye.